Welcome back to another episode of Tractor Roy. My name is Trent. We're working on the Farmall 300 again today. We got the distributor and hydraulic pump removed. We had a seal leaking in the hydraulic pump, so that came off to get some seals replaced. And since we had to take the distributor off, we're going to go ahead and rebuild this thing. If you're not taking apart your hydraulic pump, there's just two bolts. One here on the bottom, and there's a nut here on the top that goes onto this stud, and then your distributor pops right off. One wire going up to the coil, and your spark plug wires coming off the cap. That seal blew out from the hydraulic pump, so it started getting a bunch of hydraulic oil inside of our distributor drive housing. When you go to take this off, you'll have the little drive flange. I dropped mine in the sawdust here. Make sure you don't lose this. Don't drop it on the floor like I did, but it slides right in there and slides right out. So there's nothing holding it in. Easy for it to come out. These things are pretty easy. We're just going to take our coil wire off here, pop our distributor cap, see what it looks like. This thing was running. Ew. Looks like part of our points broke off at some point. An old set. Whole bunch of corrosion in here. This thing had like a slight mist to it. So I don't know if there's an issue inside of the cap. Maybe it was this causing some issues. Or if our valves just need some adjusting. But I'm kind of glad we decided to take a look at this first. Well, maybe not first. I'm glad we decided to look at this too. So take your cap off. Take out our rotor. Take off our little dust cover here. The dust cover is an IH part. Usually you don't have to replace these unless that breaks. Our rotor, my guess is it's aftermarket. Just like this looks like it's aftermarket. Doesn't have any markings on it. So the cap and rotor we're replacing, the dust cover we're keeping the same. Inside of here, we've got a gasket underneath our dust cover. We got our breaker points right here. We have our breaker points right here, and we have our condenser right here. The condenser and the breaker points are what is going to get replaced. Looks like this is a two-piece set. And we have a little bit of wear on our points. It's not bad, not the worst. This is a two-piece set, so we got the foot right here, comes off separately from the arm. To remove the foot, you just take out that one slotted head screw, it comes right off. To remove the foot, we gotta loosen up our nut right here, and we'll also be able to take off our wire going to the condenser, and one more slotted head screw there. Okay, we got everything taken out that we're going to need. This set of points has been in there for a little while. We got some rust. That just means that there's some moisture been getting in here. I don't know if you can tell, but we got quite a bit of wear on these points. Actually, they still, I mean, they don't look bad. There's still some life left, but they've definitely been used for a while. So that's getting replaced. You got to keep your screws. A lot of the times they don't come with new screws. Sometimes they do. In our kit, we just got a master tune-up kit from our local Baumgars. Good for international harvester distributors. Farmalls use this same type of distributor into like the, I don't know, mid-60s probably. And in that kit comes with your Autolite 386s. I think it's 3116 is the cross to that. Something like that. But from what people say, those run the best. So we got cap, new rotor, new condenser, clip for the condenser, our breaker points, the foot, and a new cap that looks a hell of a lot better than that old one that was in there. So to me, this mystery piece that we had sitting in here, to me, it almost looks like it was an old set of points that broke off here. So another place that these things wear, in addition to the contact point there, is this little foot. This little foot rides on the cam. Gosh, and our cam looks gross too. Everything's kind of all oily because of that hydraulic leak, but it's not really the end of the world. These don't necessarily need to be as clean as like inside of hydraulic pumps or injection pumps. If you're missing that dust cover though, there was a Ford 8N that was missing either the gasket or the dust cover, I don't remember. And I'd go through a set of points on that thing. Oh, I think I had to change them out for that guy every other week, maybe once a month, which is way too often. So make sure you got some good gaskets in here if you're working in dusty conditions. He was out smoothing his driveway with a blade a lot, so lots of dust. And it just wore that foot down, all that sand and dust and dirt getting between that foot and the cam. So we will slide our condenser on just like that. That's going to go in there. We're going to stick our little fork terminal underneath our stud. Get these points. We'll get them all installed, and then I'll bring you back to get everything, the points gap set correctly. Okay, now all I did is stuck that in there, stuck my fork under there like I mentioned earlier, tightened up that little nut. That is snug in place. I attached our condenser with that hold down clip. That is tightened in place, and I added our foot. That foot is loose right now because we got to set the points gap. So how I do this, it's pretty easy to take it off of the tractor like this, and then you don't have to deal with. Like on this, the hydraulic lines are in the way. It just ends up being tight when you're trying to get in here. This is one of those things that's almost just as easy to take off the distributor. It's 2 bolts. As long as you're not doing what I did and take off that hydraulic pump, you can take it off, make sure that this distributor drive gear does not come out, then you can stick it right back on and it holds the same timing. It's a good idea to check the timing after you reinstall it, but you can still, if you're careful, you can do this without having to retime it. So right now we're on one of the flats on this cam. You can see that little red foot right there. Hopefully you can see it. I don't know how well GoPro does with close-up stuff yet. So right there it's on a flat. Right there it's on a peak. So that is where our points gap is going to get measured from. Then it's on a flat again, then it's on a peak again. So to set our gap, we want to get that foot right on the peak at the highest possible opening. So the points gap is 20 thousandths. So I don't know if I can get you to where you can see. This isn't a very good workstation for a camera work. So anyways, I'm on, well, I was on the lobe of the cam. I moved a little bit here. Okay, I'm on the lobe of the cam. Stick your feeler gauges in here. We'll move our foot. Put we got some good drag on it. We'll tighten down our hold down screw. Check gap. That it's loosened up on me. It's pretty dang close. Sounds like that's our guy. Pretty dang close. So now we'll check. It is connecting. Get our wire bent out of the way. And we're opening and closing like we need to. So now that we got our points and condenser installed and our points are gapped correctly, we're going to stick on our little gasket here. Boy, that doesn't quite seem like it goes on that way. It's the way that they had it, but nope, that's definitely the way. So gasket, then dust cover, then our little felt for lubing up the rotor. Now our rotor right here. Get that all snapped on. Now our cap. What are we hitting on? Our condenser. Slide over. Now our felt. Whoa. Oh, okay, get that pushed on there. I think that's what was hanging us up. That's better. Cap, there's a little tab to orient it right here. Make sure that goes in the little tab, stick it on, and we're done. Well, we're done. Oh, there we go. Okay, now we can turn this by hand since we have it off the tractor. Nothing's hitting. So now we're good to go. Now this thing can go back on the tractor. We can get some new plug wires on there, the whole 9 yards. But that's going to be another video because our hydraulic pump, we got a seal that's got to come into the parts store, and then we can get this thing stuck back on there. So that can be done on the tractor or on the bench like this. It's super easy to take it off and do it on the bench right here. It's a lot easier to get in there. You can make sure your gap is correct because you can turn this by hand. If it's on the tractor, then you got to turn the engine. Makes it a little bit harder, but you can do it still attached to the tractor. So that's where we're going to end this video. Thanks for watching another episode of Tractor Roy. Keep an eye out for the next one. We'll put this on the tractor and I'll show you how to retime everything. And yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Throw a comment down below if you want to see something else. Subscribe if you're not. Thanks for watching Tractor Roy. Hope I'll catch you on the next one.